it's no surprise Coach Prime is not shying away from battling some of the best recruiters in college football. And we talked about that with Dylan Stewart, but we're seeing it on display again as Colorado is expecting a visit from Stacy Gage, one of the top running backs in this class, and one that is wanted by teams like Florida, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Florida State, Georgia, Alabama. He's a highly coveted guy. And Deion Sanders, he is not shying away from the challenge. But before we dive into it, please go ahead, hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what you all are thinking down in the comments below. Do you think Stacy Gage will end up being a Colorado Buffalo by the end of the 2024 cycle? So, Stacy Gage announced that he will be visiting the Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime and the staff for their spring game on April 22nd. And this is significant because, well, if you've been paying attention to any Colorado Buffs news, you know that this spring game is going to be a big recruiting weekend for the Colorado Buffaloes in 2024 recruits. Because as of right now, they've already put up a great list of athletes. And we're going to dive into that list in another video as it gets closer to time. And we can kind of define that and refine that list a little more. But in an interview with Chad Simmons with On3, he said, "They tell me they love me and they tell me they love me and love how I would fit into their program," Gage said. "For them, they say I'm a quick impact guy. They've told me that I'm the number one running back on their board, and they want me on campus." And like I said, Stacy Gage is also wanted by other teams like USC, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Miami, Florida, Alabama, Georgia. Stacy Gage is a take for a lot of teams. Stacy Gage is a guy that has spent time at IMG Academy. He's been down there at Wharton, where he was coached by a former USC player in Mike Williams and kind of helped get him to a 3M playoffs. And in 2022, as a junior, touched the ball 139 times for 704 yards, 14 touchdowns, and he caught 9 passes for 115 yards. So he's not just dynamic out of the backfield as a running back, but he's also dynamic out of the backfield as a catcher. He can catch the ball. And he's got the speed. He's able to make defenders miss, even when the blocking is not there. And even though he only averaged 5.1 yards per carry, you put a better offensive line in front of him, and this is a dude that could be a number one running back for you on your team. And, I mean, clearly shown by his top 8, which, let's look at that. Florida, Penn State, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Alabama, USC, Colorado, and Miami. A lot of other coaches see how elite this kid can be. And so Deion Sanders, again, he is not shying away from having to go up against some of the best recruiters in college football. And again, we talked about it. I'm going to talk about it later on. But as more players set up these visits for the spring game on April 22nd, we're going to have to dive into it. And we're going to have to break it down. Because Coach Prime, as we've said many times, is doing something special at Colorado. And if the man goes out there and he wins 7-8 games, he could turn the recruiting world upside down. That's the kind of impact Coach Prime and this staff have. And so pursuing a guy from, I hope I get this right, St. Thomas Aquinas, where Colorado already has several guys from that area in running back Anthony Hankerson and defensive lineman Alan Baugh. Yeah, I believe that they have a shot to go out there and get Stacy Gage. Now, you're coming in from behind. You're playing catch up because, well, I've said it. I think Stacy Gage is a Florida Gator or an Ohio State Buckeye. I definitely think the Sooners still have a shot if they really want him. He's taken 4 visits to all 3 of those places. But if you're the Colorado Buffs, you know that Coach Prime and the staff can get you in on a guy even if you're coming in late to a recruitment. So we'll have to follow this one. And we're going to have to keep an eye on understanding how Stacy Gage is leaning. But if you guys haven't already, please go ahead, hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what you all are thinking. Does Stacy Gage commit to the Colorado Buffs in the class of 2024?